The bank robbery was supposed to be simple. In and out, no heroes, no problems. But the gunmen didn't count on the homeless veteran sitting outside. They had no idea what kind of man they were dealing with, or what he was capable of when innocent lives were at stake. Welcome to Hidden Heroes Chronicles. Before we begin this powerful story of courage, sacrifice, and forgotten heroism, tell me in the comments from which city and at what age you're watching this video today. And if you believe real warriors never forget their own, hit that subscribe button. These stories matter. Marcus Delacroix had been sitting on the corner of 4th Street with the same cardboard sign for 3 years. Veteran, any help appreciated, had faded in the sun, its edges worn and torn. He took his position at 6 in the morning and stayed until darkness fell. People had learned to ignore him. Businessmen focused on their phones as they passed. Mothers pulled their children to the other side. Bank customers averted their eyes. Security guards acted as if he wasn't there. Under Marcus's dirty coat was a dog tag. In his backpack, bronze star, purple heart, and other medals were kept in a plastic bag. No one looked at them anymore. This morning had started like every other morning. He'd taken his spot in front of First National Bank, placed his empty coffee cup beside him. Security guard Derek Wilson had frowned at him as usual, muttering, "Here again," under his breath. Marcus hadn't responded. He never did. At 10:30 a.m., everything changed. The black minivan parked in front of First National Bank. 3 masked men got out. Marcus noticed them, but like everyone else, he just watched. Until the first gunshot came. The sound of breaking glass, screams, and then a second gunshot. Terrified voices rose from inside the bank. People on the street began running in panic. "Get down. Everyone get down." Marcus stood up. Slowly but with determination. He shouldered his backpack and began walking toward the bank entrance. A running woman collided with him. "What are you doing? Get away from there," she screamed. But Marcus had entered a walk that he knew couldn't be stopped. Inside the bank, 3 armed men had taken 47 people hostage. Manager Richardson was trembling with his hands in the air. Teller Sarah Coleman was trying to open the safes through tears. "Move fast," shouted the lead robber. "The moment police arrive, we kill all of you." A shadow appeared at the door. Security guard Derek saw that homeless man approaching the entrance. "Hey, don't come here. It's dangerous." But Marcus had already stepped inside. "You get down too, old man," shouted the second robber, "or I'll blow your head off." Marcus slowly raised his hands. But his eyes were scanning throughout the room. 3 armed men, AK-47s, tactical vests. They weren't amateurs. But they weren't professional enough either. "My name is Marcus," he said in a calm voice. "I just want to talk." "Talk?" The lead robber laughed. "Who the hell are you?" Marcus slowly lowered his backpack to the floor. He opened the zipper and pulled out the plastic bag. The medals gleamed in the sunlight. "I served with the 3rd Brigade in Afghanistan, 2007 to 2015. These medals? I earned them protecting people." The robber hesitated. "Then what are you doing here on the street?" "Life sometimes works out that way," Marcus said. "But I still know how to protect people. These people are innocent. You don't need to hurt them." "Shut up." But Marcus continued speaking. There was hypnotic calm in his voice. "Were you a soldier too? Looking at the weapons you're holding, you've had military training." The lead robber paused. This wasn't a situation he'd expected. "Yes," he finally said. "Army. But they abandoned me. They abandoned all of us." "I understand," Marcus said. "PTSD." Silence. "I have it too," Marcus said. "I have nightmares every night. But these people have nothing to do with that." Police sirens were approaching outside. The robbers were beginning to get nervous. "Time's up," shouted the lead robber. "Either take the money or we kill them all." Marcus moved at that moment. With a technique he'd learned years ago, he disarmed the nearby robber's weapon. When the second one turned, Marcus's Aikido training kicked in. Within 10 seconds, 2 armed men were on the ground. The lead robber pointed his gun at Marcus. "Stop, or I'll shoot." "Shoot," Marcus said calmly. "But let these people go free." "Are you crazy?" "No," Marcus said. "I'm a veteran. And protecting these people is my duty." A long silence followed. The lead robber noticed his hand was shaking. In Marcus's eyes was a determination that didn't fear death. I just want money," the robber said, his voice breaking. "I know," Marcus said. "But this isn't the way. Leave this. You haven't hurt anyone yet. You can still turn back." When police surrounded the bank, they found a scene they hadn't expected inside. Marcus Delacroix, the homeless veteran, had talked with the three robbers for hours and convinced them to surrender. The hostages had been released. No one was injured. How did this happen? Police Chief Martinez asked Marcus. Sometimes people just need to be listened to, Marcus said. These men are veterans too. The system didn't help them. They just made wrong choices. That night, local news covered the story extensively. Homeless veteran prevents bank robbery, was the headline. But the real change came later. The next day, hundreds of people came to Marcus's corner. But this time not to beg but to thank him. Bank manager Richardson extended a check. This is from our life insurance. The premium that should be paid to you. The city mayor came. Mr. Delacroix, we can find you a house. And the city is starting a veterans program. The local newspaper editor came with a recording device. Would you like to tell your story? Marcus thought for a long time. Then he said these words. My story isn't important. What's important is how many people like me are on the street. You need to see them too. 6 months later, the Marcus Delacroix Veteran Rehabilitation Center opened. Marcus worked there as a coordinator. Every day he found veterans on the street and helped them. The 3 men who robbed the bank were also enrolled in the treatment program. They received PTSD therapy and job placement assistance. 2 of them started working in security jobs in the city. The 3rd became a construction contractor. No one is a lost cause, Marcus would say. Just forgotten. Derek Wilson, the former security guard, now worked with Marcus. I saw him every day for 3 years, he would say. But I really started seeing him that day. Sarah Coleman, the teller, had Marcus's medals put in a special display case for herself. These medals aren't just his, she would say. They're ours too. He saved us all that day. A year later, Marcus appeared on a television program. The host asked him, Mr. Delacroix, everyone including you was at risk of death that day. Why did you take such a risk? Marcus thought for a moment, then answered, being a veteran isn't just serving in war. It's continuing to protect people after returning to your homeland. Even when I was homeless, I was still a veteran. And veterans never give up. What was your life like on the street? Was it difficult? Yes, Marcus said honestly. It was very difficult. But even in those days, I still knew I had a mission. I just didn't know what it was. At the end of the program, Marcus was given a national award. But when he accepted the award, he said these words. This award isn't mine. It belongs to the thousands of veterans living on the street. Let them know they're not forgotten. Marcus Delacroix didn't continue his life as the homeless man sitting on the corner of 4th Street. But he left an unforgettable lesson. Real heroes aren't always in uniform. Sometimes they appear at the most unexpected moments, as the most unexpected people. That day, bank customers learned not just about a robbery, but about how valuable a human life is. Marcus had fought not only with 3 robbers, but with society's prejudices and won. And most importantly, he proved that everyone deserves a second chance. Now I ask you, have you ever encountered someone like Marcus Delacroix? Someone who just served, didn't boast, didn't tell their story but still changed lives? Write their names in the comments. Tell us how they lived. Say the things they would never say because they deserve to be remembered. And if this story touched you, subscribe to Hidden Heroes Chronicles. We're here to make sure people like Marcus are never invisible again. Their silence was earned. Now it's time we speak for them. We'll see you in the next story. And until then, if you ever see an old man standing quietly in a store, restaurant, or classroom, don't ask him what he's done. Just give him space. Because you already know he's done it.